Listen up, because the situation in Cleveland has officially reached a boiling point. We are talking about an organization that is tired of losing, tired of the excuses, and aggressively hitting the reset button. Breaking sources confirm that the Browns are not just tweaking the roster, they are overhauling the entire philosophical foundation of this franchise. From the coaching staff to the trenches, everything is under scrutiny. But there is a massive storm brewing regarding the most critical position on the field, and if they get this wrong, the upcoming season is over before it starts.
Let's get straight to the facts, because the Cleveland Browns just made their move official. On Friday, the team announced the finalization of their new coordinator staff under head coach Todd Monken for the 2026 season. Here's the breakdown. Travis Switzer is taking the reins as the offensive coordinator. Mike Rutenberg is stepping up to run the defense, and Byron Storer is the new special teams coordinator. This is not a drill. This is a complete schematic overhaul designed to wash away the stench of a 5-win season that frankly embarrassed this city. Insider sources tell me that Monken was adamant about bringing in fresh voices, specifically guys who can execute his vision without hesitation. Switzer is an interesting hire because he brings a reputation for adaptability, something this offense has desperately lacked. Rutenberg on defense has his work cut out for him, but the expectation is clear: aggression. They want to dictate the tempo, not react to it. Now, let me switch gears and tell you what this really means. This is Todd Monken putting his stamp on the franchise. When you go 5-12 or whatever miserable record they posted, you do not get the luxury of continuity. You get fired, or you change everything. The Browns chose to change everything around the head coach. This is a message to every single player on that roster. The old ways are dead. If you are not on board with Switzer's offense or Rutenberg's defensive schemes, you will be shown the door. It is that simple. I love this aggression. I love that they are not sitting on their hands hoping things magically get better. Hope is not a strategy. Hiring competent tacticians is a strategy. However, we have to look at this with our eyes wide open. You can hire the reincarnation of Bill Walsh and Buddy Ryan, but it does not matter if the personnel cannot execute the plays. You can draw up the perfect deep post, but if your quarterback is running for his life 2 seconds after the snap, the play is dead. This is where the rubber meets the road. These hires are flashy and they look good on paper, but paper champions do not win Super Bowls. The reality is that this coaching staff is walking into a situation where the foundation is shaky. You have a fan base that is starving for competence. We are done with the rebuilding years. We want results now. And Monken knows that his neck is on the line just as much as anyone else's. But here's the catch. The coaching staff is set, but the roster has a glaring, gaping wound that threatens to derail this entire new regime before they even call their first play. The front office knows it, the new coaches know it, and quite frankly, the fans are terrified of it. There is a specific position group that is currently in crisis mode, and reports are flooding in that the front office is scrambling to fix it before the draft rolls around. If they fail to plug this hole, Switzer's new offense is going to look a lot like a disaster movie. So what is the one problem that could ruin everything?
Before we expose the critical roster flaw, listen to me. If you want the real truth about the Browns that the mainstream media is too scared to tell you, you need to subscribe right now. Do not miss a single update.
The crisis I am talking about is the left tackle position, and let me be crystal clear. This is a 5-alarm fire. Sources inside the building confirm that the Browns front office is frantically evaluating every available option on the market to solve the blindside protection issue before the NFL draft begins. This is not about adding depth. This is about survival. You cannot evaluate a quarterback, you cannot run a modern offense, and you certainly cannot win in the AFC North if your left tackle is a turnstile. The data shows that the Browns allowed way too much pressure from the left side last year, and it crippled the entire operation. Management knows they cannot go into the draft with a massive question mark at the most important position on the offensive line. Why? Because it forces your hand. If you have a gaping hole at tackle, you are desperate. And when you are desperate on draft night, you make mistakes. You reach for players. You panic. That is why the priority right now is finding a veteran, a trade target, or a definitive answer in free agency to stabilize that line. Look at the best teams in the league. What do they have in common? They protect the quarterback. It is not rocket science, it is football 101. The Browns have talent at the skill positions, and they just hired Travis Switzer to modernize the attack. But none of that matters if the quarterback is getting planted into the turf every third down. I am looking at this front office and I am saying, do your job. Go out there and spend the money. Make the trade. Do whatever it takes to ensure that when the ball is snapped, the quarterback has more than a millisecond to scan the field. This is an indictment on previous roster management that we are even having this conversation. How do you let the line deteriorate to this point? It is negligence, but here we are. The clock is ticking and the free agent market is moving fast. If they do not lock down a tackle in the next few weeks, they are walking into the draft with a target on their back. Every other GM will know exactly what the Browns need, and they will leverage that against them. It is a strategic nightmare. But let's assume for a second they actually fix this. Let's assume they sign a competent left tackle and stabilize the line. That sounds great, right? Problem solved? Wrong. Because fixing the tackle spot only highlights an even bigger dilemma regarding their most valuable asset. The Browns are sitting on the 6th overall pick in the draft, a golden ticket to change the franchise forever. But inside sources are whispering that the front office is torn on what to do with it. The decision on the left tackle directly impacts this choice, creating a domino effect that could split the war room in half. This is the definition of a pivotal moment.
We have arrived at the moment of truth, the 6th overall pick in the NFL draft. Insider reports indicate that the Cleveland front office is currently facing a massive internal conflict regarding how to utilize this premium asset. This is not just a draft pick, it is the future of the franchise on a platter. If they solve the left tackle issue in free agency, it frees them up to take the best player available. But if they don't, they are forced to draft for need, which is a dangerous game at number 6. The debate in the war room is heated. One faction believes they must take a dynamic playmaker, a wide receiver, or a defensive game wrecker who can change the scoreboard instantly. The other faction is conservative, arguing that if the tackle spot isn't 100% secure, you draft another lineman to build a wall. This is the domino effect I warned you about. The hire of the new coordinators, the pursuit of a veteran tackle, it all leads to this single decision. You have a top 10 pick. You cannot miss. If you blow this pick, you set the franchise back 5 years. Look at the history of the Browns. It is littered with busted picks and wasted opportunities. We are tired of it. I am telling you right now, this decision will define the tenure of this general manager. There is no middle ground. You either get a Hall of Fame caliber talent at number 6, or you have failed. The pressure is immense because the AFC North is an arms race. The Ravens, the Bengals, the Steelers, they are not waiting for Cleveland to figure it out. They are reloading. And here we are, debating strategy while the clock ticks down. I want to see courage. I want to see a move that signals we are here to dominate, not just participate. If they trade down to accumulate picks, I might lose my mind. You do not trade away from elite talent when you are a 5-win team. You take the blue chip player and you run to the podium. The disconnect between the coaching staff's need for immediate impact and the front office's long-term planning is the friction point. Todd Monken wants players who can win today. The GM is thinking about the salary cap in 2029. They need to get on the same page immediately. The 6th pick is a rare commodity. It is a weapon. And right now, it feels like the Browns are afraid to pull the trigger. They are paralyzed by the fear of making a mistake, which is exactly how you make a mistake. The fans deserve a superstar. We deserve hope. If they mess this up, the noise in Cleveland will be deafening. We are watching, and we are waiting. This offseason is the most critical juncture we have faced in a decade. We have the new coaches in Switzer and Rutenberg. We have the crisis at left tackle that must be solved. And we have the golden ticket with the 6th overall pick. The pieces are there, but the execution has to be flawless. I need to hear from you right now. If they fix the offensive line in free agency, who do you want at pick number 6? Do we go playmaker or defense? Drop your dream pick in the comments because I am reading all of them. This is our team, our passion, and our time to demand excellence. We are not accepting mediocrity anymore. Stay locked in because the news is breaking fast and we are just getting started. Go Browns!